Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sometimes the mic gets muted or whatever, but I think I'm good. How's everyone doing on the today's Tuesday? How's everyone doing on this fine Tuesday, the 14th? I'm sure you've all been on social media on this historic day for the Saints. Not a not the best day in terms of playoff history for the Saints, but hopefully you're all doing good. This is our weekly live stream, I guess. Trying to do live streams more this year. So how's everyone doing? We gotta talk about some Saints stuff. Mike McCarthy's now gonna I bet he'll be a prime candidate for the Saints' next head coaching job. Um yeah, we've gotten some updates and news and stuff as of when was the last time we went live? Was it last week? Yeah, last week on Tuesday, I think too, we went live. So we got some stuff to talk about. Let's pull this one up. What's up? What's up? Hope you're all doing well. Let's get some questions and stuff in the chat. Let's get talking. Mike McCarthy. Let's start there because that's the big one that we haven't really mentioned, or it's now officially a thing that he's an available head coach, and the Saints are probably gonna interview him, and he will be a strong candidate that the Saints are definitely gonna highly consider for their next head coaching job. I still think it'll be Aaron Glenn, Joe Brady, or Mike McCarthy now that he's available. Um, and Mike McCarthy being available now opens up another head coaching job in this cycle with the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys are a more attractive spot than the Saints, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for the Saints to maybe hire someone at another. Oh, but fortunately, the Cowboys are idiots. They missed out on an opportunity to talk to Aaron Glenn and Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson last week because they waited too long to move on from Mike McCarthy. But them becoming available hurts the Saints because the Saints were already a bad destination and a non-attractive spot for head coaches, and the Cowboys becoming available hurts them even more. They got CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people don't like Dak Prescott. I think he's a good quarterback. What else? They got Micah Parsons. There's some contract stuff they got to figure out. Obviously, working with Jerry Jones is a huge thumbs down. But I'd I'd much rather be the head coach of the. If I'm looking at the rosters and stuff, I'd much rather coach the Cowboys than the Saints. I think they have cap space to spend and stuff, but yeah, that makes Mike McCarthy available, and I think it's already set that they're gonna interview him next week. Let's see. He's expected to speak with the Saints early next week. They don't have a date established for this interview or meeting, but the plan is for the Saints to speak and talk with Mike McCarthy next week. That's the big one right there. Someone, why are people so quick to fire Kubiak after one season? He a lot of injuries. Not the offense not being great wasn't all his fault, but there are some things that he definitely wasn't great at. Like the adjustment things is crazy. Like that wasn't just an injury thing or end of season thing. Like you go back to, I think just going back to like the first game, like the Saints slowed down in the second half of games, less points, less production throughout the whole season. Whenever someone would figure out what he wanted to do, he didn't have a counterpoint to I'll put this back. Didn't have a counterpunch to people adjusting to his game plan, and he couldn't figure that out. I'd be okay with keeping him, but I think ideally the next head coach brings in his own offensive coordinator, and Mickey Loomis confirmed that yesterday. We can also talk about that too. Mickey Loomis had a whole lot to say yesterday. He had his end of season press conference and confirmed and said some pretty wild things. We gotta look beyond the results. Quote. We got a what was the other quote that he dropped? It was like, just because we're not getting the results we want doesn't mean we're doing something wrong. That's what it was, and that was pretty crazy. Um, he confirmed that the next head coach will have a clean slate to do whatever he wants with the staff. No one has to stay. No one has to go. The next head coach will determine that. Also said the next head coach will have a huge say as to what happens with Derek Carr and his future. Mickey Loomis didn't say, we're looking for this next head coach and we want Derek and him to, have a good relationship. We want the next head coach to um, get Derek Carr, back to how he was weeks 1 through 2. Well, he basically said Derek Carr's future is uncertain and the next head coach will determine that. And I think that's good too. Mickey Loomis had he had some good and bad things to say yesterday. One thing that stood out, I forgot to even put this in the video I posted yesterday, but he said the drafting he thinks has been good. No, the hell it has not. Let's actually pull that up. Saints draft history. Let's look at them since 2017, because obviously that's that's like the greatest draft of all time. Share screen. Let's get that ad out of there. Let's go to 2018. He said the drafting has been good. 2018, the Marcus Davenport pick was a whiff. The talent was there, but overall bad. Will Clapp might be the best player from this draft. 2019, Eric McCoy was a hit. CJ for a 4th-round pick was a hit. Caden Ellis was a hit, but you didn't keep him, so he's off being a good player for someone else. Ruiz, he's okay, but he's not a hit. Bond was a hit, but he's playing for someone else as a hit. Troutman, no. Stevens, no. Peyton Turner, miss. Pete Warner, I think, is solid. Paulson Adebo, solid. And Landon Young is solid for a 6th round. Olave's good. Penning's Alante's, I'd say Alante's a hit. These are whatever. Brzee, I think he's a hit. Foskey, no. Kendry, no. Soderberry, no. Hayner, no. Howden, Matt. A.T. Perry, no. And then Fuaga. So what? That's not good drafting. You have to hit more than that. Let's remove that now because that's hurting my eyes. Let's see. Kubiak deserves a look at head coach more than Rizzi. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. They both got problems, but I think with the Rizzi, you can tell that people play hard for him, and I'm not saying people don't play hard for Kubiak, but I don't know. I feel like Rizzi's a better leader than Kubiak. Kubiak's too quiet. Kubiak is too reserved, too quiet to really be like a leader, if that makes sense. And if you were to hire Kubiak, then you'd probably need to hire a Darren Rizzi type of coach to, keep the players engaged and playing for him and stuff. So, I mean, I'd hire Darren Rizzi at head coach before Clint Kubiak. That's just my opinion, though. Everyone's got their own thoughts and stuff. You want Joe Brady? Yeah, I'm I'm starting to talk myself into Joe Brady more and more and more. I still want Aaron Glenn as my number one guy. And after that, Joe Brady, sure. It's probably after him. Mike McCarthy, he's going to be on the list. I mean, we're doing the live stream because I want to be doing lives once a week, and today was convenient for me. But really, the big news that's happened since the last live stream is that Mike McCarthy's available, and he will be talking with the Saints. We already talked about him for the first few minutes, but more people are coming in and asking questions and stuff. I feel like when people hear Mike McCarthy, they go like, they cringe, and so do I. Like, hiring him would be boring and uninspiring. He's a good coach, a good head coach. I think the Saints floor probably goes from like 5 wins to like 7 wins if you hire Mike McCarthy. But then your ceiling becomes a wild card first round exit. And hiring him would just be so uninspiring. It would be so familiar, it wouldn't be new. And he's a good coach. I'm not You look at his record, he has a really good track record. It's just it would feel like more of the same stuff, honestly. Um, I want change. That's why, I wouldn't want Mike McCarthy. But if you're Mickey Loomis and there's this head coach that you've worked with before, he has a winning record. He's won a Super Bowl. He's gone 12-5, 3 out of the last 4 seasons. In the one season he didn't have his starting quarterback. It's a lot of people can get pissed off, and I totally agree with them because I don't want him either. But he's not the worst coach. He's not the worst coach. I would definitely take him over like John Gruden. I'd take him over Kafka from the Giants. I'd take him. Uh, I don't know who else I'd take him over. Um, I would take him over a few guys though. Like at least with Kellen Moore, I don't know as a coach if I'd take him over McCarthy, but Kellen Moore it'd be a change and new. McCarthy would just be the same old stuff, and I don't know. But let's see this. You wouldn't mind Mike as head coach? At least he can win games. Yeah, like that. That's all a valid point. My rebuttal to that though is this team. He made the playoffs with the Cowboys, and that roster is better than the Saints, and they had money to spend in free agency, and the Saints don't. Can he make this crappy ass roster a what 9-10 win team? I mean, they were a 9-win team in 23. But everyone's a year older in 2023. Who'd they have in 23 that probably would have helped and like helped this team this year? I mean, can argue it, but I'm sure having Michael Thomas around in 2023 helped with like Olave and Shaheed, and there was obviously some issues, but I bet in 23 the leadership from him probably helped the younger guys more than when he left, kind of thing. I'm gonna assume. Who else did we have in 2023? Having Jameis in the locker room probably helped, but I don't know, man. I don't know if making the playoffs just to be a first round exit is something this team should strive for. I don't want to be the Steelers. Yeah, I agree. Kendra isn't bad. He just can't stay on the field, and then he didn't know the playbook and plays like talent wise. Like the dude is probably like top 5, top 7 talent on the team, but he can't stay healthy and he doesn't know the plays. Um, we're going into year 3 with Kendre Miller, and he's not reliable. So until proven otherwise, he's a miss. But the talent was 100% there, kind of like Marcus Davenport. The talent was there, but the just what happened was a miss. Let's see what other ones we got. Mike McCarthy should not be the head coach. You don't understand how they can see how the Cowboys could win, but yeah, it's definitely a bland offense, but at the same time, he's won 12 games 3 of the last 4 years. Like you can't argue with that. I'm not gonna sit here and call him trash when we've had DA as our coach. And in the last hiring cycle, a lot of people were upset that they hired a head coach with a losing record as a head coach. And now here's Mike McCarthy with a really good with a really good record as a head coach and a good track record. And it pissed me off. It pissed everyone off. I could live with it. I just would prefer not to. I would absolutely prefer not to have Mike McCarthy as the head coach. Yeah, these would be cool, exciting. Anyone but McCarthy. I don't know about anyone, but he's probably at the bottom of the middle tier of guys I'd want the Saints to hire. Hypothetically, with Joe Brady, do you think he rides it out with Carr? And if not, I honestly don't know. Um, looking back through like Joe Brady's QBs and stuff, he had Burrow, and then he had Baker and Sam Darnold in Carolina. Now he has Josh Allen, and then he was here with the Saints at some point. That was Drew Brees, obviously different. Joe Brady, it feels like for his offense to work, he needs some type of mobility and athleticism from the quarterback. And I don't know if you get that from Derek Carr. He has a little bit of it. He's an NFL starting quarterback. He's obviously athletic to some degree. Um, but I honestly don't know what he would do with Derek Carr. If we're talking about like his system and stuff, I think probably Spencer Rattler would fit it better. But if you're Joe Brady and this is your first time being a head coach, you might want to keep Derek Carr, a guy who's won an NFL game before, as opposed to Rattler. I honestly don't know. That's systematically it would make sense to move on from Derek Carr, but head coaching wise, and depending on if they want to win games or if this is going to be a rebuild year, that also plays a factor as to what Joe Brady would want. And Mickey Loomis said yesterday, I thought this was good. There's no specific type of head coach they're wanting to hire. If the new head coach wants to get rid of Derek Carr, they can. If they want to keep Derek Carr, they can. If they're offensive or defensive or special teams or none of the above, but they're the best coach that they feel like they can hire, they're going to hire him. I feel like that's a good process from Mickey Loomis. That's a good thing I can say about him, is that they're going to be very honest with this thorough process of finding their next head coach. But yeah, whoever the next head coach is basically going to have the biggest say as what happens to Derek Carr. But Mickey Loomis basically confirmed that yesterday. He confirmed that Derek Carr's $51 million salary is undecided at the moment. He said the next head coach will have a big say in what happens. He said dead money doesn't affect their decisions on whether or not to keep or let go of players. So, long rants, a little bit off topic from your question, but if I was to guess, I think Joe Brady would. I'll say Joe Brady would keep Derek Carr if I was guessing. I think Derek Carr's deep ball would probably want Joe Brady to keep him, but it really is a coin flip to me. There are people who, oh yeah, he definitely hasn't developed a QB. That's for sure. I bet he's helped though. He definitely played a part in helping Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl. He definitely played a part in Dak Prescott looking pretty decent the past few seasons. So I don't think he's like horrible, but I don't know if he can develop anyone. And for this team, that might be an issue for sure. Carr is gone. No, wait. I don't think there's a decision made up yet. I think that decision will be made once the head coach is hired. Mike McCarthy is trash. Sure, you can call him trash. I'm not going to argue. It's just here. I'll pull this up real quick. Mike McCarthy record history. Let's put this down there. Present, share screen. This is when he took over for the Cowboys. 3 of the 4 last seasons, he's gone 12-5. This is his first year in Dallas. 12-5, 3 out of the last 4 years. Let's get this stupid ad out of here. You can argue the playoff stuff. Haven't been able to win a playoff game. I get it, but yeah, you can call him trash, but I'd hate the hire, but I don't know if you can call him a bad coach. Like I think I looked at it. He's only had like 5 losing records or something in his career. Let's see. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 seasons with a losing record. I don't know if I can call him trash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 seasons with under 10 wins. He has more seasons with 10 wins than not. Like, you can't call him a bad coach. Like, clearly he's doing something right. It's just it'd be an uninspiring hire. I'd hate it for sure. I'm not gonna cap, but he'd be someone that I don't know. I don't want to even get. I don't even want to predict anything, but like this team probably goes from what a 5-win ceiling to like a 7-win ceiling with him, and then who knows? Who knows? I agree. He doesn't pass the vibe check, but he checks off a lot of Mickey Loomis's boxes and that front office's boxes. And guys doing the head coaching search, that's for sure. He's better than Dennis Allen. He's definitely better than Dennis Allen. I am concerned though, like if he was to get hired, like what's there's been like relationship issues, I think, with like him and his players, like the players not wanting to play for him. Or didn't Micah Parsons say something this past season with that he had an issue with? Like, I'd be concerned about that. Like, this team isn't winning any games or making the playoffs this year. And if he was hired and once they start losing games, would he be able to keep the locker room? I don't know. Um, he's definitely better than Da though. Da has like the 16th worst like winning percentage in NFL history as a head coach. I agree with this. Who can relate to the team? Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's that guy. Aaron Glenn is most definitely that guy. You don't know what you guys keep getting this Mike McCarthy crap from. All of a sudden, you guys want Aaron Glenn to Joe Brady. I don't want Mike McCarthy. My top guy's been Aaron Glenn. I've stood on that opinion. It was Mike Vrabel and Aaron Glenn. Joe Brady, I could be talked into, but uncertain. I'm not saying I want Mike McCarthy. I would 1000% prefer not to hire him, but I I would unfortunately understand why they would hire him, which is terrible. But I don't think he'd be a he'd be a bad hire for the fans. But if we're talking about like football, maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I'm just yapping. We need to fire everyone and totally start new. Bring in a successful head coach, and he can bring in his guys. I mean, just to play devil's advocate, the only successful head coach really available right now is Mike McCarthy. Um, but yeah, the whoever it is, the new head coach will bring in their new staff. Loomis confirmed that yesterday that whoever comes in will be able to keep and let go of whoever they want at the staff. Yeah, this is a concern. The locker room stuff with McCarthy. If we're talking pure football, I think he's meh. He's he's the Derek Carr of coaches, I guess. Derek Carr of coaches. Get the yeah. Make sure you guys like the live. Is that a thing? Can you like live streams? Um, shout out to you, man. Yeah, make sure you guys. What 26 of you in here? I appreciate all of you. Sometimes you think you're subbed and stuff. Just double check. We're trying to hit 10K this year. Appreciate you doing the shout out because I always forget to do that. Joe Brady ain't it. I could be talked into that too. He's I got mixed feelings about him. Like Josh Allen's turnovers and stuff have gone significantly down this year. That offense has been so much better than I thought. I thought the Bills were going to miss the playoffs this year. But obviously having Josh Allen helps significantly. um, man, I don't know what to think of Joe Brady. I think he'd probably be the most exciting. Definitely the most exciting for sure. And if he gets rid of Derek Carr and develops Rattler or drafts the QB, whoever it is, it'd be exciting for sure. That Carolina situation when he had Baker and Sam Darnold and it failed, it's hard to get over. And he's looked the best when he's had a really good QB. So I don't really know. I don't know what to think about him. There's good and bad there. Kellen Moore was his OC. Yeah, I know that. What was it? He got fired last season, goes to the Eagles, and the Eagles offense starts cooking. Granted, I'll say this: the Eagles roster is freaking stacked. That might be like the best, and if not the best, like top 3 roster in the league. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to Kellen Moore either. Um, I mean, I could be talked into basically all of these candidates. I mean, I'd be confident in Glenn. I'd be excited for more Brady. I would not be excited by Mike McCarthy, but I would unfortunately understand. Wait, this means Carr is gone because no coach is going to want him, especially. Some head coaches might want him. Aaron Glenn might want him. I know we all think Derek Carr sucks, but being realistic, like he's the 18th best QB and he can win you games. And the Saints haven't won a game without him the past 2 years. So there's going to be coaches that want him. That cap number is pretty crazy though. The 50 million is insane. But hold on, I'm going to mute for a second. But yeah, that 50 million cap hit is absolutely insane. But you, and with that $50 million cap hit too, like if you restructure it, then you're tied into him for even longer. So if you're going to keep him, it might be best to not touch his contract, but then you're paying him 50 million, which is crazy, which is actually crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Not going to argue with any of that. I don't know who that is. He's another DA. Yeah, if we get McCarthy in 3 years, I'd think both of them would be fired or Loomis retires or something. But would be boring, man. Would absolutely be boring. Patriots got lucky with Vrabel. You wanted him. He's a good coach. You expect the Pets to start. Yeah, I don't know if this is a reference to the video I posted today about the Patriots and Joe Milton and stuff, but man, it would be very excited to be a Patriots fan right now. Drake May, the 4th pick, 130 million in cap space. Mike Vrabel, a guy who took Ryan Tannehill to the championship. Like, man, would being a Patriots fan be so exciting, but we're not Patriots fans. We're I'm gonna assume most of us are Saints fans in here, and there's not much exciting about this team. You relate Mike's success to Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn. Yeah, I know they're both on the roster. They're both having success once they leave, and now he's struggling. I'm not going to argue with that either. But rebuttal, playing devil's advocate, not saying right or wrong. He hired him. He hired both of them. So surely he did something right if he hired both of them, and they're both now killing it. Kellen Moore looks like a hey man, if I don't care what he looks like, if he can win games, I don't care. I don't care who the next head coach is or what they look like, as long as they win games. You think Mike was carried by Rodgers just like Bill? Yeah. It's hard to name a good coach who didn't have a good quarterback. Mike Vrabel's the first one that comes to mind. Kevin O'Connell. Who are some good coaches? Who are some really good coaches that did not have a really good quarterback? Like Joe Burrow has people thinking Zach Taylor is a good head coach. Sean Payton? Do we want to say Sean Payton? Not really too sure. Not too sure, but I don't know if I can say Bill Belichick was carried by Tom. But at the same time, it's hard to look at the results and say he wasn't, because he's made the playoffs once or twice without Brady, but hasn't won a playoff game. So I'm not going to argue with that. Like, I think the best head coaches ever always have a good QB to kind of carry them. We got 30 people in here. Shout out to you guys. He's poor situational coach, reaches DA levels. Yeah, I'm Mike McCarthy. I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying you look at the track record and it wouldn't be horrible, but at the same time, it would absolutely be horrible. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't. He's an offensive minded head coach. Yeah, I feel like his offense is pretty bland though. I will say this though. I'm gonna pull this up because I thought about this earlier today. And I'm just kind of curious what all right, CeeDee Lamb has had 100 catches 3 straight years, 1,100 yards 3 straight years, 4 straight years, and has had 6 or more touchdowns 4 straight years. So I don't know who was calling plays what years and who was doing what, but Chris Olave, I think, reminds me of CeeDee Lamb play style, their build and stuff. And, you know, you look at those CeeDee Lamb stats, you look at the usage, and I don't even know what kind of system he runs, but I look at those CeeDee Lamb numbers and think that could be good for Olave if they get T Mac or a guy who complements him so he's not taking hits over the middle. But I hope we don't have to talk ourselves into this. I'm just trying to be fair, and I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's a great coach either, though. He's literally just the Derek Carr of coaches. He's a good coach. He can't win playoff games with the Saints. Yeah, I agree with this. Like, if we were to hire Mike McCarthy in 22 or 21, I feel like it would have been okay. But I think we're at the point where his ceiling is one and done in the playoffs. And I feel like right now the Saints need a guy who can build a culture, be a leader of a group of guys who's probably not going to win a whole lot of football games in the next few years. And I don't know if he's that type of coach. Yeah, he's a offensive coach. I mean, he had success before Kellen Moore. We can't put all of the success on Moore, but some of it is though. Like, all things being fair, like, he won a Super Bowl. Granted, having Aaron Rodgers in his prime helps like a little a little bit, but it's not like he had Kellen Moore for what, 15 years. He's done some decent stuff. Yes, 100% agree with that. Not the head coach he once was. He was glad to have Rodgers as his QB, and when he became the Cowboys head coach, he was proven to be incompetent and non-disciplined. I mean, yeah, all that can be fair, but despite all that, they won 12 games 3 years in a row. Like, I don't I don't know the full context to those 3 years. I didn't watch a whole bunch of Cowboys games, but from the outside looking in, just a borderline, like, winning 12 games 3 years in a row isn't horrible, no matter whether I don't know. I really don't know, but he will be interviewed, and I would bet, like, a decent amount that he's gonna be a pretty big front runner for this head coaching job because Mickey Loomis knows him from when he was the offensive coordinator for the Saints. Yeah, he was here when Loomis wasn't the GM. He was like an advisory role, but someone on the current front office was the general manager who hired Mike McCarthy, I think. So there's ties there. 20 years ago. Let's go here. Thoughts on the defense? I mean, if we want to hire a defensive coordinator, give me Aaron Glenn. Throw all the money you can at him. He's that line's defense is so hurt, and they did such a good job. Like, I think I saw something that the Lions had the most injuries in the NFL. They had the most players on IR in the NFL, and Aaron Glenn still found a way to have some success. Obviously, having offensive success helps the defense too, but keeping Kevin O'Connell's offense to 9 points in a game for the number 1 seed, that's impressive. That's impressive, and they didn't have a whole lot of starters out there. They had a whole bunch of injuries. Who are you going to hire? I got no idea. I hope it's Aaron Glenn or Joe Brady and not Mike McCarthy. But yeah, I think if you want a guy who can command the team in locker room, Aaron Glenn's probably the guy you want. I don't know too much about Joe Brady or Kellen Moore to say like they can command a room. I know Aaron Glenn can though. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. Um, Aaron Glenn himself probably would bring his own offensive coordinator. I don't know who that would be, but that's what would happen to the Saints offense. Glenn would focus on defense, and it'd kind of be like DA. DA focuses on defense and calls defensive plays, and then he has an offensive coordinator calling offensive plays and handles the offensive side of the ball. Mm, Want an offensive minded head coach? Don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. I'll agree. I won't argue with Brady or Moore. Cliff Kingsbury scares me. Losing head coaching record in college. That Cardinals situation not good. They did go 8-0, and then they went like 1-7. Like I don't know. I have no. I would pretty sure though. I'm pretty sure if Cliff was hired, Derek Carr would be gone. I would assume that because of his scheme, like he can't have a Derek Carr at quarterback for his system and for his play calling. He had Kyler, Jaden, Mahomes, and someone else, but Derek Carr wouldn't fit that. Never a genius, predictable, uninspiring. Yeah, but I mean, he had Dak Prescott winning 12 games. I don't. And that's nothing against Dak, but to me, Dak Prescott's a little bit better than Derek Carr, and Derek Carr's never won 12 games. So, and I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just trying to stay in the middle and be neutral. And I see both sides. I see why everyone would hate it. Personally would hate it, but I understand. Unfortunately, the thinking that would go behind it. It doesn't matter who the head coach is, but in the season, you always saying fire. Now we know this team sucks. No matter who the next head coach is. I mean, the only way me personally would be saying fire the next head coach in year one is if you got players fighting on the sidelines and there's bad clock management and you have substitution penalties still and you had bad answers and he's blaming his players. At that point, I'd say fire the head coach in year one. But I mean, this roster's bad. Like they're gonna need like 2 years to fix it if they even can. So, um, I won't be saying fire the next head coach in year one unless it's some like glaring obvious things. I'm not gonna say fire the head coach because they lost the game. Like they're probably gonna lose games because the roster isn't good. W Stream, appreciate you all being in here. These are always fun. We're trying to grow in 2025. You'd prefer Ben Johnson? We're not getting Ben Johnson. He didn't even take the interview with the Saints, and the Saints, I don't even know if they put in an interview for him. Ben Johnson's not. It's not happening. I think he goes to the Raiders. I think Ben Johnson goes to the Raiders. I think getting to pick his general manager and work with Tom Brady is definitely nice. Having Brock Bowers definitely helps. I think Ben Johnson goes to the Raiders. That's my prediction. Yeah, I agree with this. Joe Brady for offensive minded head coach for sure. If you listen to Skip Bayless every day, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want him, but I can understand. You can understand the hire. Yeah, Dak is better than Carr. Tony Pollard is not better than Kamara. CD Lamb is better than Olave, but I think Olave has a similar build and can. I think he has like a CD Lamb type of ceiling though, like 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. You just need the right QB, and there's three things I think for Olave to reach that 1,500-yard mark. One, the system. The system needs to be one that gets your best player on offense to football, and that's Chris Olave. I love Kamara, but Chris Olave, if I'm game planning, I want to get him the ball 10 times. At least throw it to him 10 times a game, end up with like 7 catches for 100 yards or something. So one, the scheme. Two, he needs a complement. He needs a T-Mac. He needs a A.O. Manor. He needs someone else to run over the middle so Chris Olave can be Chris Olave and not be A.J. Brown or Michael Thomas. They need to draft someone to make sure he's not taking hits over the middle and so that he can stay healthy. And the final thing is a QB, obviously. But I think if you have the other two things, the QB will have an easier job getting him the football. It's crazy that Derek Carr just refused to throw Chris Olave the football in the first 5 games. Like it, I don't understand it. Clint Kubiak, I think it's the system, but um, they weren't scheming plays to get Chris Olave the ball early and often. Uh, I didn't get it. Chris Olave's only 100-yard game this season came when Derek Carr was not the QB. It was Hayner and Rattler. Um, Crazy. I don't understand why they didn't get him the football more, and I don't understand why it's taken them so long to like. I hope they address the big-bodied receiver over the middle. Obviously, they had Michael Thomas the past 2 years, but given the health things, like they should have had a backup plan. It was just kind of Michael Thomas or nothing in terms of a big body guy. So back to the main point, I agree with everything except Pollard over Kamara. I'd much rather have Kamara. I think this is with the Cowboys. 49-35 with the Cowboys. Better than DA. Yeah, you're just saying, yeah, playing devil's advocate, there's worse options out there. But no, I think we can all agree it would just be kind of boring and uninspiring. We want change. This team and city needs change, and that would just scream more mediocrity. Yeah. And who'd they beat? Who'd they beat? Um, what was that? 22? Was it Cowboys playoffs 2022? No, it wasn't 22. Whoa, was it 2021? Sorry, I'm trying to see who the one team they beat in the playoffs was. No, they lost to the 49ers then too. Was it 2020? Cowboys postseason history. There we go. Who's the one team they beat? They beat Tampa Bay, and that was like what, the 8-win Buccaneers. Yeah, not impressive. Offensive genius. Are you saying that because of the Cowboys or the Eagles? I mean, playing devil's advocate, having Saquon Barkley in the best offensive line in the NFL helps. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith helps. Jalen Hurts. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him. You want to take a chance on him and yeah, I would not be upset at hiring the young offensive minded head coach and letting him develop Rattler however he wants. Um, that'd be fun. It'd be a change. I'm not against it. I don't want Cliff. Of all the OCs, Cliff is at the bottom. I'd much rather. Y'all are gonna roast me for this. I'd rather. I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. I don't know how I feel about that. Would you rather have Cliff or Mike McCarthy? Cliff Kingsbury or Mike McCarthy? Let me know. You'd cry. I wouldn't blame you. I don't know if Derek Carr stays if Mike McCarthy's hired. I would assume Derek Carr would stay. Glenn and Brady are the best head coaching candidates. I think Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn's probably the second best candidate this cycle. I think it's Vrabel, Glenn, Ben Johnson. That's gonna sound crazy, but I think Glenn's a better candidate than Ben Johnson. I'll stand on that. I will absolutely stand on that. I think Ben Johnson gets hired. I think he's going to the Raiders. Shout out to you. You got to be put on like payroll or something for reminding me to do this. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just another reminder. Appreciate you reminding me to remind everyone. Brian Flores. I don't know if I can get on board with Brian Flores. There was that whole Tua issue, and then we all saw what happened. I don't know, man. His defense cooked all year. I wouldn't be mad at an interview. I don't know if I'd want him as the head coach though. I'd take him though. I would take him. I would take Flores over Mike McCarthy. I would definitely take Brian Flores over Mike McCarthy. Yeah, all three of these would be good options. Yeah, Chris Olave should be used. Not like Rashid Shaheed, but similar. They're trying to make Chris Olave Michael Thomas instead of using Chris Olave like Chris Olave. And that's an issue. Like, you drafted him to be a really good route runner who can run out routes and go routes and curls and corners. Why are you trying to have him run dig routes over the middle with a QB who's inaccurate sometimes? I don't know. They got to draft like T-Mac, or they got to get someone in there. So Olave's not doing that. Like if you draft T-Mac, he doesn't become your number one guy. It'd be like a AJ Brown and Devontae Smith situation. Like, that's ideal. Let Olave do that. No, we're not. I think Aaron Glenn is the ideal. I think it'll be, if I was guessing, I think Mickey Loomis and this front office are either gonna, I think they want Glenn or McCarthy. That's who I think they want. Adding on to Aaron Glenn, yeah. Adding on like I don't know how much he's played a role in finding talent in Detroit, but the role he has Brian Branch in, the way he's developed Brian Branch, like, and hypothetically, if the Saints draft Malachi Starks from Georgia, Aaron Glenn's going to have him in the Brian Branch role. I want that. Well, they signed that cornerback like off the street, and he had him shutting down Jefferson. Like, he's a good player. He finds talent. Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, when you have the number 2 pick, it kind of helps with that. I mean, he's got the pass rush kind of cooking a little bit, and they're out a whole bunch of guys. So Aaron Glenn, I want Aaron Glenn as well, because he'll bring over hopefully guys from the Lions, and guys on the Lions know how to scout talent, and they know who to draft and how to put them in certain roles. And that would just be so great. This team needs to draft like 4 day 1 starters this year. And I would feel a lot better about that if they hired Aaron Glenn. Yeah, I'm not saying Tony Pollard was bad. I'm just saying I'd rather have Kamara than Pollard. All right, Cliff. Can we all be clear on one thing? Anyone in the cycle is better than 26. It's insane that DA was kept for that long. Like, it's actually pretty crazy. That's all the questions we got. You guys want to do mock draft or something? If you guys haven't already, check out the video I posted today regarding Joe Milton. We're doing more non-Saints content too. Because 2025 is a year for us to grow. We got to be better this year. So if you guys haven't, check that video out as well. Playoff predictions. Ooh, yeah, I wanted to do that. Is there like a playoff prediction site? Let's see. How does this thing work? AFC, NFC. All right, let's see if we can get this thing up. All right. Texans at Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. Ravens at the Bills. We'll come back to that. I got the Lions over Washington. I got the Eagles over the Rams, and I got the Lions winning that one. Bills or I'm gonna go Buffalo. I got Buffalo over Kansas City, and I think I got Buffalo winning. The whole thing. So there's the playoff. There's my playoff predictions. Is this valid? I don't know. Going against Lamar, picking the Bills over the Ravens was hard. I think whoever wins the Baltimore and Bills game beats Kansas City. I think the Commanders and Lions will be a better game than people think. Eagles and Rams. We saw the Eagles like smoke them earlier this year. I don't think that'll be a good game. I feel like the Eagles playoff games are always boring too. I always feel like they're always boring. So yeah, there's the playoff predictions. I got the Bills winning it all. Someone said let's do a mock draft. We might end it with the mock draft too. If Glenn is gone, go hire Joe Brady. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think Aaron Glenn would definitely help Kool-Aid and Alonce for sure. 100%. But let's not act too like DA was a good secondary coach too. Looking at it now, I'm curious how much DA played a factor in Marshawn Lattimore shutting down Mike Evans. Because, man, Lattimore was getting smoked on Sunday night. That was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed. Do I got a PlayStation? I do. I got a PS5 and a PS4. I only play Madden, some college football. Not gonna lie, I play Minecraft occasionally. It's fun. It's relaxing. Yeah, that's pretty much all the games I play. I wanna play Marvel Rivals though. That's on the to-do list to check out. Yeah. I hope this ends up being a good game though. Yeah, I feel like if the Ravens don't win it this year, like they may never win it with Lamar. For the MVP, who's your guys' MVP? Let's do this. Is there a awards picker prediction? NFL season awards predictions site. You got Lamar winning MVP. Okay, well, there's not a site that does this, so I'll go off the top of my head. Lamar is definitely MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon. Yeah, it's Saquon. Jamar Chase is going to get a few votes. Defensive Player of the Year should be Trey Hendrickson. That one hurts. Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. Brock Bowers, runner-up. Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Verse. Comeback Player of the Year, Sam Darnold. Who? I don't know. Coach of the Year should go to Kevin O'Connell. I think Kevin O'Connell should get Coach of the Year. I know they just lost last night, but like 14-3 with Sam Darnold is freaking insane. And what's the other one? Comeback Player of the Year? Russell Wilson, is that Comeback Player of the Year? I don't know. I don't know enough about that one. Someone said Lamar, Josh Allen. I don't know. It could be a case where Lamar's already won it, what, two times, and they want to give it to someone else. But to me, I think it's close, but I think Lamar will get it. All right, let's do this mock draft, and then that will be the end of this stream. But if any crazy shit happens this week, we'll definitely go live. Do we do a 7-round mock draft, or do we do 4 rounds? Let's do 4. Present, unless anyone has anything else to say about doing 7 rounds. But how do can I expand that? I can't. Discard. Is this what we did last time? There you go. I think that's what we did. This works. 7 rounds. We'll do 7. We'll do 1 mock. You want to play Rivals? Yeah. If you got Instagram, just DM me, or if you got Twitter, DM me, and I'll see what I can do. I'm not on there a whole lot. Let me make sure the link to that is in the description. Yeah, so if you click the link in the description, there's a Twitter and Instagram. Just DM me on there, and we can figure something out once I learn how to play it. All right, let's do this mock draft, and then Josh is doing more with less and has his team in. Yeah, you can't argue with this. This is something Josh Allen has going for them. This isn't happening. I hate to tell you. I hate to break it. All right, let's get this thing going. T-Mac got drafted. This might be worst case scenario in terms of players who are left for the Saints. Like, ideally, one of these guys falls to pick 9, and none of them did. So, this is who we got. Will Campbell is available. Emeka, Tyler Warren, Malachi Starks. There's these edge rushers as well. Siobhan Rivel, Luther Burden. Let me know who you guys want. I have my pick, so if no one says anything, I'm gonna take them. So I'll give you guys like 10, 15 seconds to put in thoughts and opinions, and if no one says anything, I'm just gonna draft the guy I want, or the guy I would draft in this scenario. A little bit longer. Man. All right, no one said anything. I'm gonna draft Malachi Starks. That's where I'm going. That's what I would do. So Tyler Warren, literally like 5 seconds too late. Round two. Bro, A.O. Manor and Trey Harris going is like 3 picks. That hurts. Is Jaden Higgins available? I might go Jaden Higgins. Best player available. I mean, we could draft an edge rusher, but I want the receiver. I want Jaden Higgins. I want Jaden. So if you guys have any rebuttals though, get to it. Otherwise, this is who I'm drafting. I'll pull up the best guys. These are the top guys. If you want me to pick a position, let me know. But if no one says anything, I'm going Jaden Starks, Cam Scatibo. I think we can get him a little bit later. Yeah, he's 130. We can definitely get him later in the mock. I might have to go Jaden Higgins on this one. The Ohio State edge rusher would probably be my second pick. But the defensive line is just so bad. Jahad Campbell. All right. You got 1 vote for Campbell. Well, we could take Scadibo in the later rounds. I'm going to go with Campbell. I'll pick Campbell since that he got a vote. Let's hope Higgins is there for this next pick, though. Oh, my gosh. Higgins got picked. Get Kyron Lacy out of here. We can take Cam's not supposed to go for a while though. Where is he? Did he already get picked? He's 136. We're in the 70s. We could probably take him in round 4. I'll take Mason Taylor. I think is Bond worth the I'm assuming shot. Good player, but he is not he's not the type of receiver the Saints need right now. Take Pat Bryant if he's there in the 4th round. I think he should still be here. Yeah, he's still there. Sure. Mason Taylor's available. We could take a guard. We need a guard. We need a corner. We could take a corner here. Here's some edge rushers. Penn State safety. I'll take Mason Taylor. I'm gonna take Mason Taylor. And then I guess we'll take Scabito. Yeah, we'll take him now. Yeah, we're not picking Kyron Lacy. I haven't even picked him in any mock draft I've ever done. I don't think he's as good as LSU fans think he was, and now he's a criminal and on the run. Someone said pick Pat Bryant. We'll just do that now. Savion Williams. Someone in here in this chat last week put me on game for him, so shout out to whoever that was. I don't remember. Linebacker, QB, edge. Is this guy good? Fidel Diggs. Is he worth taking in round 4 at edge? Zy Alexander. Defensive tackle. Oh, offensive tackle. I need some help with these last few picks. I'm doing a team awards voting thing on Instagram, and Derek Carr was one of the options for offensive player of the year, and he has 20 votes. Alvin Kamara leads with 1,300. What about any edge rusher? Yeah, the edge rusher. These are the available edge rushers. I don't know anything about these guys. Oh, Mike Green's good. We're taking Mike Green. I know Mike Green. That's for sure. Round 5. All right, we're on round 6. This is who we've picked so far. We got a safety, a linebacker, a tight end, a running back, a receiver, and an edge. So we need defensive tackle, corner, offensive line. Yeah, that's those are the only spots where we haven't really addressed. So what's the move here? We got defensive tackle. We have a few right here. We got a guard, a center, a linebacker. Anyone got an opinion on what we do here? I don't know too many of the late round guys. This is who we've drafted to this point. We got 3 picks left. Yes, I can agree with this. I know it's your favorite. I know LSU fans love their LSU players and such, but some of them are not as good as people make them up to be. Like, but I enjoy seeing it though. I'm not. It's not something I like get upset at. I find it. I think it's cool. I don't have a college team. I just watch whatever I think is entertaining. I don't know and saying anything. I'm gonna draft there's nothing on that's small for a defensive tackle. Yeah, we got Mike Green. I just don't know what to draft here. Like, are any of these guys good at stopping the run? Or can any of these guys stop the run and make a tackle? That's kind of all I need to know. 6'2" is kind of small and known for pass rushing ability. I don't know if we want a pass rusher. Do they got anything else on these guys? No. If no one says anything, I'm drafting Joshua Farmer. I agree, defensive tackle. I just don't know who. I don't know any of these guys. I'll just go with that guy. And we're in round 7s. We'll just draft. We'll draft this Michigan guard. And then we'll take this corner. All right. Rank it. Call it crap. Call it good. But this is the results. I would not be mad with Malachi Starks at 9. If that board falls the way it did in this one, come April, you either take Starks, Campbell, or you trade down and take Tyler Warren. That would be my preference. Getting Campbell would be nice. Need a linebacker. I just don't know what you do with DeMario. I think he'll be on the team. I like Pete Warner. I think if you put Pete Warner on the Eagles, like you put Zach Bond on the Eagles, I think Pete Warner gets a lot more recognition. Mason Taylor's a good pick, especially if you have Rattler. Tight ends, he loves throwing at tight ends. Skedibo, good pick, good player. Pat Bryant, I like. Mike Green would be a steal. So, all right. Unless anyone else has any other question, start over. You want to do another one? We'll do 4 rounds. We'll do 4 rounds. Shit, I forgot to pick a team. 4 rounds. Saints enter. Here we go. Please. Please, please, please. Oh my gosh. I know Abdul Carter. I don't even think it's close. It's not close. It's Abdul Carter, right? Like, it's not even a debate. Yeah, it's not even a debate. I think it's Abdul Carter. Like, you're supposed to wait the like 10 minutes to put in your card. Like, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, you're supposed to wait like 10 minutes and put in your card. I'm running onto the stage with the Abdul Carter thing. It's fine. Won another track at pick 9. Here we go. Let's see if there's any receivers. No, unless you guys want to draft Jaden Higgins, or we could take this tight end right here. I wouldn't be mad at that. We could build up the D line and get this dude from Ohio State, Tyleik Williams. Safety from Texas would be nice too. We could get a guard. I don't know if I want to spend a second round on a guard though. We just drafted an edge rusher. Do we double down and have the edge rushers set? I wouldn't be mad at that. What's the pick in round 2? You guys let me know. The only receiver who I'm going to pick in round 2 is Jaden Higgins at this point. So, trade down for Tyrone, good idea. Yeah. I think if the top guys are out, you draft Starks, Campbell, or trade down and draft Warren. That's for sure. That is most definitely, I think, the best plan. We're only doing 4 rounds for this one. Carter, you guys are like super behind. Okay. I'm going to draft Jaden Higgins. I don't know how behind everyone is, but I'm going Jaden Higgins. Kenneth Grant. Like, I think this is the pick. I just want to know who can stop the run. One of these two, Grant or Winston. I want to draft one of those two guys. If no one says anything, I'm just going to draft Winston because that's more fun. Got to go tight end. I don't know how behind everyone is, because for me, I'm in round 3 already, but some of these are coming in a little later. Tight ends, Mason Taylor, but we drafted him the last one, so I don't know if I want to take him. I want to do something different each one. Kenneth Grant right here is the smart idea, but Kevin Winston is more fun. We are responding way before you see them. That's weird then. Yeah, these are coming in like super late. I don't know why. That is super weird. That's never done that before. I don't know what to do then. I'll just go Kenneth Grant. Let's look at running back. Oh, you're behind. Okay. I was very confused. We got 3 picks left. Do we go Dorian Strong? Rod Moore? We could use a safety. Anyone got an opinion? Otherwise, it's just going to be me doing it, which I don't mind. I'll give you guys like 10-ish seconds. 5 more seconds. No one says anything. I'm drafting Rod Moore. And all right. We draft the running back here. Dylan Sampson. Yeah, give me him. And final pick. Give me, what round am I in? Round 4. We're only doing 4 rounds, and then we're going to end it, and then we're drafting this guy. I like this. I think this is fire. I think this is good. Carter at 9 would be like the steal of the draft. Jaden Higgins at 40 might be a little bit of a reach, but I don't really care. You're getting a good player. Kenneth Grant would be good. A steal. Rod Moore, you need to do some research on him, but I like it. Dylan Sampson, good player. Need a running back and then drafted a guard. So, yeah, I think we're gonna end this stream because it is getting hot and I have some other things to take care of. So I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Another fun live stream. This is nice, and I'll still be posting videos this week. Just keep watching them, keep supporting. Make sure you're subscribed, and catch you next time. Have a good rest of your night.